What is going on, everyone? How is everybody doing? Trendline Forex here. This is our second live session for this week. This is what we do every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So it's 1st of May today. It is Thursday, and obviously we're going to check out a few, trading setups that we may have here on some of the pairs in my watch list. All right. All of those trading setups have already been shared with our premium Telegram members. And some of those setups we've actually been following for the past couple of weeks, I would say. All right. So, you know, without really wasting a lot of time, I'm going to have a look at them in just a second, share with you what kind of trading opportunities I'm looking at currently. But I want you to keep in mind that we actually have NFP tomorrow. So if there isn't a lot of movement today, or if you're not sure whether you should enter a trade, it's probably best to, kind of stay away and just to wait for the news tomorrow and maybe look for trading opportunities next week. All right. So keep that in mind. This is very, very important. With time, um, you kind of know when to stay away from the market, even if you have good trading opportunities, just because you build up that skill with experience. So just give me a couple of minutes to send a quick message in our free Telegram and let people know that we're actually live. And if you haven't joined the free Telegram channel, make sure to do so. There's going to be a link in the description below this video. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, make sure to subscribe to this channel. There are videos coming out and also live sessions just like this one that you're going to watch now. We do that twice a week. Okay, so quickly going to send that message here on Telegram. Here we go. Quick message on X as well. And when I say X, I mean Twitter, of course. And then I think we're ready to go. In the meantime, let me know if you can hear me properly, if the picture is good. Once we know that we're running smoothly, we can then proceed forward. But I would love to see your setups as well, so make sure to send me your setups. You can do that via DMing me on Telegram, and I'm actually going to share that link for my personal chat here in the chat box here on YouTube. So right here, you can click on that link. It's going to take you to Telegram, and you can send me your setups. We can pull it on the screen, just have a look at them. This is not only going to help you and give you some value, but also other people that are watching this live, or people that are going to be watching the recording of the live session. Okay, so if you want to help yourself, if you want to help others, share your setups, your trades with me, and I'll have a look at them. All right. And I don't know if you guys have been following those live sessions, but the trading opportunities that I share, the setups that I share here on gold, on pound dollar, on euro dollar, even if they don't complete in the first hour of the trading sessions, many times they will complete by the end of the day. So maybe during the US session. So that's what I'm saying. Just make sure to subscribe to this channel. Join the live sessions every time I do them. It's literally just 1 hour of your time. And if you're not available, or if you are at work when I'm doing those live sessions, obviously you can watch the recording. Like I said, many of those setups will, tend to complete later uh, throughout the day. Okay. I think if you check out the economic calendar, you will see that we may have some high impact news today, but it's really nothing major. It's mainly the NFP. So if the market is going to be waiting for something, it's going to be the NFP tomorrow. So, if you're looking for short-term trading opportunities, so let's say the 5 to 15 minute time frame, I think you're going to be fine because your trade will most likely reach TP or stop loss throughout today. You're going to be safe for tomorrow. But there are times where you'll see the market basically trading around the same level, not really doing much. And this usually happens when you have high impact news coming up, soon, which is the case today. And I really want to have a look at euro dollar, pound dollar. I actually have a pretty decent setup here on euro yen as well. So I was waiting for price to see if we're going to have a reaction within this area right here. This is basically the 38.2 to 61.8 level on this most recent move. But looking at what we currently see, I mean, this strong bullish momentum, it doesn't look like we're about to see a reversal. Maybe once we test this previous high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to point this out. Oops, not like this, but maybe like this. All right. So we'll keep an eye on 163.70. Okay. I'm going to delete that for now. This is the 1 hour time frame. So if we drop down to the 15-minute chart, we're going to be looking for potential reversal. It's probably not going to happen during the first hour of the session, but I'm also not really a big fan of entering against such a strong move. Okay. And let's just have a look at dollar to yen. This is something that I talked about, um, you know, earlier this morning in the premium telegram channel. All right, because yesterday I said that we may be looking for a lower high. Well, we didn't get that, but we didn't enter any trades, and instead of that, as you can see, price is currently pushing up and it's already breaking above all that resistance around 144, okay, which is also the 38.2 level. So that makes me think, I'm just gonna grab my pen tool. So that makes me think we're most likely going to reach for the 61.8 retracement level, which is basically 146.50. So this, I believe, would be the next stop for price action here on dollar yen. And this is where I'm also expecting that we may see that reversal and a continuation to the downside. Okay, so right now I don't have any decent setup. I don't want to be going long just because we are in a downtrend, right? So I don't want to go against the trend, especially not on dollar yen. So instead of that, we're going to have a look at euro dollar and pound dollar, right? Now, the main idea is that we're going to see an upside continuation. Before that, though, I believe that this pullback will continue slightly lower. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it means that we can potentially find something here on the lower time frames. But again, this if you're going to be going short on some of the setups that I'm currently going over, just keep in mind that you're basically going against the main trend direction. Okay, now the safest way to trade is to obviously trade with the trend, which means you should only be looking to buy within this market. We're talking about euro dollar and pound dollar, right? And also gold as well. Because if you look at the higher time frames, we're obviously moving in a bullish trend. So instead of us going short, we should be focusing on going long. However, I'm looking at potential pullback levels, and I can see this level right here, right around 3,160, 3,170. So are we gonna have enough strength to push lower? Yeah, I think so. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna delete this fib because that's an old one. Okay, so we've got the 61.8 at 3,164. Okay, so we're most likely going to continue this pullback down towards that 61.8 level. All right, a pretty decent level, I'm not gonna lie. If I see price action down there, and if it gives me a good entry point, why not? We can give it a try. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking for. And when it comes to pound yen, just broken above the 61.8 level, quite a strong momentum. So there's no point for me to look for selling opportunities, even though this is what I expected is going to happen. Okay. So we'll see how it goes. I don't really want to go long, at least not yet. But maybe later on, right? And when I say later on, not even today, maybe next week, we're going to check out some of those setups and how they developed in the first day of the month, but also the last day of the trading week. And by the way, we have an email list where, obviously we send out emails every single Monday with trading opportunities for the week ahead. It's completely free, so you can subscribe to the newsletter. And on Monday, you will receive updates on some of those positions. But most definitely, euro, dollar, gold, also Bitcoin is what we include in that email newsletter, and also the best trading opportunity for the week ahead. And we do that every single Monday. Like I said, it's completely free. All you got to do is subscribe for the email newsletter. And in order to do that, you can go over to Trendline Forex, and then check out our website. This is where you can basically subscribe for the email newsletter. So what do we have now? Um, we still have euro dollar pushing down. Same thing with pound dollar. I don't really have any entries. Those pullbacks are just not enough for me. Okay. And then we have gold, which most of those reversals that I'm talking about, because it's not only the pairs that I look at during the live sessions. Obviously, this right here is my full watch list. So I go over each one of those pairs every single morning, and it's not just euro dollar, pound dollar, and gold. We also have other trading opportunities, that we want to take advantage of, but we need to see the end of the pullbacks first. And I believe that those pullbacks will most likely happen right around the same time. But, keep in mind that gold doesn't really do much of a pullbacks. So if there is going to be a reversal, I'm expecting that this reversal may come on gold first. So I'm going to be, observing price action. Hopefully we see price coming down a little bit lower though. But so far it's looking good. Exactly as expected. Even when price was trading sideways, we were talking about a potential dip before the next upside move. And so far, this is what we see. So let's see how it develops. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully, hopefully, we get to, to find a nice entry within this price model right here. Now, somebody asked me, I think it was last night or it was the day before, I'm not sure. Um, because a lot of people are actually focusing on gold. A lot of people are trading gold, right? And if let's say we're looking at the 4 hour time frame, because that person asked me, how would they use the volatility expert advisor in the current situation on gold? And what do we have on gold now? Like I said, I am expecting for price to come a little bit lower and then at some point to reverse, right? So I have roughly an area where I'm expecting to see that reversal happening. So what you can do is you can use the volatility expert advisor to select the your point of interest, basically the zone right here, and you can tell the expert advisor to start entering long positions within this area. So as soon as price taps into the area, the expert advisor will start loading buy positions, and it can open those trades on every one, every two, every three, 5 or 10 pips, however much you like, and it really depending on your account, of course. But you can set the expert advisor to start entering trades, let's say on every 1 pip move. So as price is going down, it will open buy positions. Okay. Now each one of those trades has its own take profit. And if let's say every time price goes down by 1 pip, you enter a buy position, you can set up a take profit for each one of those positions individually on every 2 pips. So the next time price goes back to the upside, 2 pips above each one of your entries, price will close that specific trade. Okay, so as price starts going up, you will be collecting take profit on each one of those trades. So as it is going down, it starts buying, and then as soon as it makes some retracement, it will close those trades into profit. So what happens then is now you don't know, not that you don't know, but now you don't need to stay in front of the chart and wait for the perfect entry. But how does it help you, right? Well, if you're trading manually, it is a lot more stressful. You have to be a lot more precise, and you must have a lot more experience. All right, this is obvious because right now, even if you are a beginner or you have some experience, right? I can tell you that we have to wait for the end of the pullback in order to enter a long trade. But a lot of people don't even know what does that mean. Like, how do we know when the pullback ends, right? A lot of people don't know how to read price action signals like this, signals like this. They don't know when a pullback ends or when we have a momentum in the market or when the market is low. But it becomes a lot more easier if you are using the volatility expert advisor to just select a zone, okay, and then to start entering automatically, of course, to start entering buy or sell positions depending on your setup. Now, when you are using the expert advisor to um, enter positions automatically, of course, you don't really need to have your analysis being complete. Does that make sense? Just let me know in the comments. But what I mean by that is that, like I said, if you enter buy positions on every 1 pip move and you exit those positions on every 2 pips, as long as price is trading sideways, you are generating profit. So when you trade manually, you have to pick your entry. So let's say you enter a buy position right here, just for example, down here at this key level, and you made your entry right here at the 61.8. Now you need to wait for price to go to the upside in order for you to make profit. This is when you generate profit when you're trading manually. But when you are using the expert advisor, even if price is trading sideways without really going to the upside, you are still generating profit. And you can decide to close your trade before that breakout occurs. All right. So you have that flexibility to decide whether you want to stay in that trade or you don't. Now, if you're not sure what I mean, or if you can't really quite understand how the volatility expert advisor works, um, the best thing to do would be to check out my YouTube channel, this one right here, Trendline Forex Global. And I've got a recording of a full webinar that I did on the volatility expert advisor. And this is what I'm talking about. Trendlineforex.com, you click on that volatility trading button up here, and then right here you can read all about it. Okay, and we've also got a completely free full course on how to use the volatility expert advisor. All right, this is very important. So you can actually go and check out the course first, see if you're going to be able to work with that, and then you can decide to go for it if you want to. If you're not sure, if you think you don't have enough experience, then you can go for the mentorship package and get all of the courses that we have on our website in a bundle. All right, so anyways, there are options. As long as you have, as long as you really want to learn how to trade and you are interested in this topic, well, then there are ways on how to achieve it. Okay, but anyways, back to the chart. Just let me know if you think it's going to be helpful for me to show you the expert advisor in action during those live sessions. Just let me know. I think the last video I did on the expert advisor that I'm talking about here on YouTube is on the positions that we had on euro dollar, by the way. So you can go and check that out. You can see how the expert advisor performed on this setup right here on euro dollar. I think this is going to shed some light to how the expert advisor actually works. It's about a 10-minute long video, not that it's not a long one really. Not going to take much of your time, but you are going to understand how this is going to help your trading get to the next level. So we've got a pretty decent breakout here on the 4-hour time frame on gold. I'm really expecting to see some lower values as well. Now, am I going to be able to enter a trade? I'm really not sure, and I don't think I will, because it's really not safe to enter a sell trade on gold when you have this type of market. Okay. The best way to trade gold right now is to only enter long positions. And so if you have a pullback, you just have to wait for that pullback to end. All right. And as soon as you see that reversal, you're looking for your entry. Simple as that. We also have this level here on gold, right around. Well, let me check it out. It's 3,270 roughly. Um, so if we are about to continue to the downside, we also have this minor structure here on the 15-minute time frame. So anywhere within this area is where we may see that next downside push happening. And for those of you trading smart money concepts or ICT concepts or whatever, I guess this is a fair value gap, right? And it got formed right at the breakout, which I believe it makes it even stronger. So you can mark it out on your chart if you haven't done it already. But if that's the way you trade, then this is according to your strategy as well, I guess, right? I'm not really looking at fair value gaps or order blocks. I'm not saying they don't work. The thing with me is that I just don't call them by those names. For me, it's just market structure. Now, this is what I'm really curious about. So, smart money traders or ICT traders, whatever, they will say that support and resistance that doesn't work. Okay, but then they will trade fair value gaps. So let's say just for example, right? Let's say just for example, you have a fair value gap right here. So what will happen if price, let's say, pulls back into your fair value gap and it then goes back to the downside. So let's say you manage to enter a short trade with right here inside of this fair value gap. Now they will still say that support and resistance does not work. But then what is this then? What is that? Isn't that a support or resistance level? It is, right? You cannot say that I'm not right. Isn't that exactly the same thing? You may say that you've traded off of the fair value gap, but let's say at the same time, I also entered a short position right here. And let's say I don't even know what a fair value gap means because I'm only trading support and resistance. Okay? Well, the most important thing is that both of us made money, right? We were both right. We waited for a pullback and then, we took advantage of that reversal right here. Now, essentially, I'm trading support and resistance. You're trading fair value gaps. So now, whatever people say, it's exactly the same setup. We may be looking at different things, but at the end of the day, we're both taking the same trade. Okay, so how does support and resistance does not work? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like some of those traders, haven't really been trading for a long time, and the first strategy they learned was ICT because those ICT videos and smart money trading videos are very, very popular. And again, I'm not saying they don't work. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that support and resistance, trend, candlestick patterns, all of those things are the foundation of technical analysis. So if anybody says that they don't work, for me, that person does not have enough experience. It is as simple as that. So I'm going to delete that just because I don't want people to, kind of see it and then take it as an entry signal, all right? And at the end of the day, that was a short trade setup, but we are in a massive uptrend on gold. So, even if I'm looking for potential short setups, it doesn't mean you have to take them, okay? we're almost half an hour into the first hour of the London session. So um, you know, we can see some movement happening, but really nothing major, which is completely fine. I'm really not expecting anything major throughout the whole day today. However, with the NFP tomorrow, it's going to be a different story, maybe. You know, NFP nowadays isn't that bad. It used to be really, really massive event back in the days, but just a few years ago. But not anymore, really. I mean, CPI, very, very important. Interest rates, probably the most important event at the moment. And of course, you know, it can all go to hell very, very quickly if Trump announces, you know, something, whatever it is, right? Um, but it's fine. It is fine as long as you don't overtrade or don't use um, a lot of risk on each one of your entries, you're going to be fine. Okay, even if you have a losing streak, you should be fine. And the worst thing is making some profit and then giving all that profit back to the market because you couldn't keep your emotions right. Okay, this is probably the most important thing. Remember, short term, I am expecting for those instruments to keep pushing down. Ideally, I'm looking for a little bit more of a deeper pullback here. If I manage to take out, let's say here on euro dollar, even this structure, and then see that reversal, this is going to be even better. I think the deeper the pullback is, the stronger the move in the opposite direction will be. Um, Not every time, but you know, sometimes that's the case. Uh, so yeah, I can see some people joining in. You know, at this stage of the life. So if you want me to go over uh, through some of the pairs, let me know in the comments. And also, I would love to see your setups as well. Don't forget that you can actually send me your setups or your current trades via Telegram. You can find the link in the comment section here um, on the stream, and you can send me your setup so I can check them out. Like I said, this is not only going to help you, but it's also going to help other traders. You know, trying to improve their knowledge and their skill. There is a high probability that we may see that pullback continuing throughout today, and then tomorrow during NFP that we see the reversal happening. And you know, if that happens, then it means I'm not going to be trading today. Not everybody can you know stay away from the charts. But you have to be able to control yourself. Otherwise, it's not going to work in the long term. Even if you manage to make some money in the short term, it's probably going to be you know, just a one-off and not happen again. Like I said in the beginning of the session, a lot of people can actually trade, but they cannot keep the profits. They give all the profits back to the market. You know, you go through a winning streak, and then you think that you're god in trading, and then you keep opening trades, maybe even increase your risk, and that's when you give all the profits that you made back to the market. So let's see if this is going to be the rejection on euro yen, because technically this is a lower high, lower than this previous one. Little bit of a deeper pullback than I expected, but that's fine. Now, when something like this happens, all right, so let's say you are expecting a downside continuation. So you've got this first move, then you want to see a pullback, that pullback happens, right? And then you want to see the next bearish leg. Now, if that's the case, and let's say just like in my case, I was expecting for euro yen to reverse right around here, so slightly above those previous highs. Well, that didn't happen, right? But now we have some sort of a reversal. It's not yet confirmed, so it doesn't mean that I'm going to be looking to enter a short trade immediately, but I know that I may see that reversal now. So if you see a strong reversal, and let's say you don't want to enter a trade immediately, you want a further confirmation, right? Just because you're not fully confident in your setup. If that's the case, what you can do is you can wait for this pullback to end, you then see the reversal, and then you can wait for a lower high again, okay? And then you can look for those short setups. this is something that, really improved my results, but it means you've got to be more patient. And it's also not just euro yen. We also have dollar yen and pound yen on our potential trades list. Just coming back in a second, all right? Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those lower mornings. Um, but like I said, this is due to the NFP coming out tomorrow. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, you can definitely see we still have more bullish strength here on pound yen compared to euro yen. Right now, this pullback is already back at the highs, whereas if you look at euro yen, we are still struggling to go back. We probably will, but um, this is one way to kind of understand um, how correlation between pairs changes every now and then. And you can really notice that on the lower time frames as well. Short-term setups probably looking for euro dollar to come a little bit higher, then to reverse again. It doesn't mean we should be going short, but it's just an idea, something that I'm going to be um, looking at. what do we have? A little bit of a bullish action here on euro dollar and pound dollar. Not so much on gold. Yeah, price trading around the same levels on yen, on the yen cross pairs as well. Definitely a slow morning, this one. Trading back at previous highs here on the 5-minute time frame on euro dollar. If we look at the higher time frame, it is possible that we can see a little bit of a pullback since we've just broken below the support right here. So keep that in mind. Okay. Gold isn't doing much. We still got about 5 minutes left in the first hour of the trading session. So far, nothing much has happened. We can see a little bit more of a momentum coming in after that first hour. But again, I'm really not expecting anything massive. This is probably going to be tomorrow during the US session, okay? So probably the most important thing that you can take away from this session today is to learn how to sit on your hands and not rush into your entries, because you may have some potential trading opportunities right now, but as you can see, the market isn't really doing much. Mm, what does that mean? It means that we have high impact news tomorrow, so most likely the big players are actually waiting to load their positions then and not now. So you don't want to, open your trades when there's no momentum or when nobody else wants to open their trades. And I'm talking about the big players, not the retail traders, of course. Uh, so keep that in mind. So 4 hour time frame still looks bearish. If you look at the 1 hour charts, um, struggling to go back to the upside here on gold, I would say. Um, Looks like we may have some momentum in euro dollar. And I think I'm gonna end the session right around now. Just gonna wait for those 1 hour candles to see what they look like, even though we kind of already have an idea that we have a bullish candle here on euro dollar. Okay, a strong one as well. Same thing on pound dollar. Not much going on gold, so we're most likely yet to see a momentum coming in here on this instrument. And when it comes to the yen cross pairs, um, we kind of stopped and paused right around the 163.40 on euro yen and around the 192 level here on pound yen. So we may be due for some pullbacks, but overall, I wouldn't be looking to enter a sell trade. At the same time, I don't really want to enter long trade either. So I'm going to skip the euro yen and pound yen, and I would say if you want to be looking for trading opportunities, just focus on euro dollar, pound dollar, and maybe gold. Nothing else really. But you have to be very cautious. If you're going to be going against the main trends, well, use a smaller lot size, okay, and move your stops to break even as soon as you can. That means if you are going to be trading those three instruments to the downside, because I am still expecting that those pullbacks will continue lower. It's just the thing that where do we get into a trade if we want to take advantage of that, right? Um, so yeah, all the 1 hour candles have now closed. So keep an eye on price action. I personally don't have any good entry opportunities, so I may not even be looking at the chart until the US session, and then we'll see how it goes. But I believe there's going to be further downside move here on gold. Same thing on pound dollar and euro dollar also. All right, everyone. I think I'm gonna end the session right around here. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description below this stream. If you're not watching this live, then check out the description below this video. Also, check out our website. Have a look at the volatility trading system. I did explain briefly how it could help you during this live session, but I've also got other videos on the volatility expert advisor. And like I said earlier, we also have a recording of a full webinar on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. There are more videos coming out, as well as more live trading sessions next week, Tuesday and Thursday. So don't forget to join in then as well for more trading opportunities. Okay, keep an eye on price action, and you've got to be very cautious and very picky with your setups, especially now since we are preparing for high impact news tomorrow. Obviously, if you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section of this video, or you can also text me via Telegram. There is a link in the chat box. Okay, I think I'm gonna end the session here. What I see right now is that we still have some momentum loading up here on euro dollar and pound dollar. A little bit of a movement on gold, but overall slow price action. Probably best to stay away from the market, at least for now. All right, I'll see you in the next one.